wish to be. They say if wishes were horses,
even beggars would ride.
Not wishing to be. Make a decision that I am. Make a decision that on managers convention in February, we have a managers convention here in Drakensberg.
That's right.
Jane Leach is coming
That's
to
right.
train. One of the best trainers in the whole of the forever world. For some of you don't know, but she's the one who invented the first steps to manager.
Yeah.
Just for her team.
Yeah.
And later on it was adopted by Forever globally. She will be here in February. Now, you have two options. One is to say, I wish to also learn from Jane Leach. I hope I can be on the managers convention.
Yeah.
I'll be so happy if I can be on the managers convention. That's one way. But if you make a decision, it's not about wishing. If you make a decision, when you meet someone and you say, I'll meet you at the managers convention. I'm an assistant supervisor right now, but I will meet you on the managers convention. In February. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. You have to make a decision. And there is no point of you allowing fear to hold you back. No point at all. You know, there's no point of you allowing whatever that has happened to your business. Maybe these first 7-8 months of 2024, maybe they weren't that exciting for you in your business. It's okay. We all have to get to a point where we draw the line on the side and you say, you know what? Going forward, I'm making a decision. This is who I am right now. This is what I'll be achieving. You have to make that decision, because if you won't make that decision, you won't be able to achieve what you need to. I love to give this example. 2 people decided to quit smoking. 2 people. And one day, somebody came to tempt them. Put a cigarette to them. The first person said, no thank you, I'm trying to quit smoking. The second person said, no thank you, I'm not a smoker. These are 2 different people. They have the same past. The same past. You know, they're facing the same challenge, so to say. But their mindsets are totally different. One is trying to, another one has made a decision. So what is it that you have decided? After the success day, what is it that you have decided? And that goes to everyone. I can assure you, I was on that success day, and I was getting excited, I was getting inspired, and at the same time, I was getting challenged. At the same time, I was like, I wish I could reverse time back to January, or maybe we should have had this success day in January. Maybe my 2024 would have been different. You know, I was there, excited, and at some point angry. Not with anybody or the event, angry with myself, angry with my decision that I made in the past. You know, if you're in South Africa, maybe at some point you're angry. Why are you not having your team there? Why didn't I push my team there? If my team was here, oh my God, after this I would have created managers in my team, right?
Yes.
You know, now you need to ask yourself now, what have you decided? Because it's not about what I'm going to suggest. Yes, we will suggest what you can go for, but what have you made? What decision have you made? Have you made that firm decision about where you want to arrive with Forever? If you made that decision, if you really taken time to say, you know what, I want to close this year as a manager. I understand we have a number of people here who are not yet managers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I'm suggesting, let me say I strongly insist, and I strongly advise that make a decision that you are not trying to be a manager this year, but you are a manager this year.
That's right.
Make that decision. Because without a doubt, we know it's possible. And the thing is, we know it's possible not just for others, we know it's possible for us as well.
Yeah.
And yes, you might need to take a breath, like, I understand that. Because it's not going to be easy, right?
Yes.
It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it.
Oh, yes.
It's not going to be a walk on the park, right? And that's why we need that mental energy to take us through these remaining 4.5 months, so to say. No, 4 months and 1 week. 4 months and 1 week.
Yeah.
We only have 4 months and 1 week to go all out, guys. And there's a good side of that. There's a good side of that. Imagine if you had to go all out for 12 months. It's even tougher, you know. But you can go all out for 4 months. You can push for 4 months. You can even be out of balance a little bit for 4 months. Maybe for 12 months, maybe it's too long. For 4 months, you can get out of balance a little. That means you can take down your social life a little bit. You can say, I'm going to have less fun. You know, I'm not going to go out as much. I'm not going to waste time on social media as much. Why? Because these 4 months, I want to go all out because I've made a decision that when this year ends, January, the 1st of January 2025, I'll step into 2025 as a brand new manager in Forever. I've made that decision. You have to make that decision. And don't allow your past, don't allow your fears to hold you back. It could be fear of failure, sometimes fear of success. I was having a chat with a lady that was stuck in the business for a very long time. And now things are like starting to happen in her business. You know, she's getting people to join. And she told me, you know what? Now I understand what they mean by fear of success.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having these people joining and I'm like, wow, there's a possibility here. Am I really going to be able to manage this possibility? You know, it's one thing to say, I fear, I cannot make it to me. No. Now there's a possibility. Am I going to be able to make it happen? You know, what will happen after I achieve manager? Am I going to be able to, you know, sustain myself as a powerful manager? Don't allow fear to hold you back. It will always be there. We all have a bit of fear in everything that we do. Even in the things that seem to be maybe very easygoing. I can assure you, deep down, we have a bit of fear.
Yeah.
I'll give you a real example. We did a tour in Namibia. It was, for me, it was one of my most and best use of my time in a very long time. We have met amazing people. We have had amazing, powerful meetings. You know, people have joined and they're still joining from those meetings. But the fact is, few days before, we were thinking of canceling that tour. I'm telling you, we were thinking of canceling that tour. And maybe it was fear creeping in, suggesting that maybe we need to organize it better next time. Maybe we can plan it better. It will be better if we take, you know, if we cancel it now, maybe we organize. We're even thinking, okay, let's cancel it. Let's do it February 2025. After managers convention, maybe we can go there. We're thinking about that. And when we arrived there, after the first meeting in Swakopmund, in Walvis Bay, after the first meeting in Walvis Bay, just after that meeting, I felt like if this was all, if I was supposed to go back right after this one meeting, that would have still been a worth trip. After just one meeting. Woo! And we went from one city to another, and it's like you move from amazed to super amazing. You move from super amazing to like unexplainably amazing. And then phenomenal amazing. And you're like, wow. You know, I'm fantastic. I wonder if the next city is going to be as good as the one we just did. And then you go to that city, it's even bigger and better. And you're like, wow, we're about to lose all this. We're about to lose all this. And whenever you are at a point, when you're making decisions, that's why they say, you know, it's in the moment of decisions. It's in the moment of decision. And for me, when I was thinking about all that, I reminded myself some of the principles that I use to making sure that I make the right decisions. Number one is to really question myself. What really here is the challenge? Then I realized I can't even point fingers to the challenges. And I remember there was a saying that I was told back at the university. We were organizing an event and then it was so close and we wanted to cancel it. And one of our mentors on that student organization told us, no. The rule is for him, he said the rule is the party must continue.
Yes.
So every time you are at a point where you want to do something and you're hesitant a little bit, do that.
Yes.
And that will happen in very small decisions and sometimes in big decisions like a tour.
Yes.
But sometimes it will be small decisions. Sometimes it will be you're seated on a plane and there's someone sitting next to you. Should I greet this person or not? Someday you have gone to the bank. Small decisions. You have someone in front of you. There's that part of the forever in you telling you, say hello to this person. And there's part of you saying, hey, for this moment, you are not ready for any disappointments today. Don't say hello to this person. You need to have a good day today. There will be part of you holding you back a little bit. It is in those decisions. Now, what can push you to make sure that in as many opportunities of making those decisions, you make the right decisions? Is when you have the mental clarity of where you're going. And I want to talk a little bit about what can happen in our business in the next 3 years. And when it comes to looking ahead, I'm the type that lowers your expectation. Lowers your expectation. I look at typically what do most people achieve. Typically, what is a must happen for almost anybody, even if someone is not like pushing super, even an average pusher, what must happen. And when you think in that direction, it will help you. Also, it will also be challenging you to make sure that you don't go below what I will suggest here. Because if you go below what I've suggested here, you have probably gone below what is typical. You've gone below what is typical. You can dream bigger, you can set bigger goals, but don't go below what I'm suggesting here. And for you to have the right focus for your business, think at least 3 years. This is 2024, 2025, 2026. Think at least 3 years. If you only think this year, it will be so easy for you to make wrong decisions. Yes. It will be so easy for you to find yourself not going all out because you're only thinking this year. If you're thinking 3 years, the reward 3 years from now will be much bigger. And that will give you that extra push to say, you know what, I can go higher, I can go bigger, I can push some more. Now, how many would love to be earning at least 1 million? 3 years from
In
now.
rands, it makes sense. In Tanzania money, it is not even my flight ticket.
So are we
Recording.
Are we confirming in 3 years we'll have a lot of millionaires? Yes! Now, I don't want you to say, I want to earn 1 million. I want you to say, 3 years from now, I'm a millionaire.
Yes.
Because you're not trying to quit smoking. Yes. You are not a smoker, right?
Yes.
You have to own it. You have to make it your identity. It's not about making something, it's about becoming that person, right? Now the question comes, how can we be able to achieve this?
Yes.
If it just remains out there in the air, it's just a goal hanging somewhere. At the end of the day, we need to get a bit of clarity on how we can make the steps heading there. And these steps might be, for some of you, this is your goal for this year. For some of you, this is your goal for next year. But if I have to speak to brand new people in the room, assistant supervisors, and if I'm to be very direct, what I'm going to share here is mainly for someone that is right now an assistant supervisor. Or maybe even a preferred customer. Or maybe you have not even joined the business yet. If you're a manager and above, I want you to take this and I want you to take this to your team. And then ask yourself how many millionaires you want to have in your team 3 years from now. And how nice will it feel when you're walking around and you say, you know what, I own a company. I'm the CEO of that company. And in my company, I have more than 20 people who are making more than 1 million in my company. Because that's the team you have created. So take it to your team 3 years from now. Now, the truth is, 3 years from now, not everyone will be a millionaire. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. And the good part is, those that will not be millionaires are not in this room. So you are safe. You are safe. How do we get there? How do we get there? How do we get there? 3 years from now, there might be someone that is okay, settled, knowingly or unknowingly are settled doing 5 cc a month. You know, it's possible to subconsciously, you have settled there, but you don't know that you have settled there.
Yes.
You know, you are okay being there. And if you're a 5 cc a month person, I mean, 3 years from now, you're just earning about 90K in rent in a year. I know that's not something exciting, but there will be people, they're not in this room, so don't worry, that 3 years from now, they'll probably be there. And I will not, even a little bit, suggest for you to be okay with that. You know, the same way you are so clear about your agenda, right? You don't need a reminder, you don't need someone to confirm anything to you about your agenda, right? The same way you have to be so clear with what you are not. You have to be so clear with the fact that I'm not a 5 cc a month person. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. Now, if you get to managers typically they can earn around 350,000 a year. Managers. So as a manager, you have the potential to be making about 350,000 rands a year as a manager. If you become an ego manager, which is one of the major focus that we need to take from this meeting, is next year, 2025. That's why we have 2025 here. Next year, 2025, you are an ego manager.
Yeah.
It's not about next year I want to be an ego manager. Next year I am an ego manager. That means next year I am making 700,000 at least in a year. I am that. And you plan your life, you set your goals around that income. Because if you don't have your personal goals connected to the business goals in forever, you won't have the drive to achieve the business goals because they're not connected to your personal goals. If you don't know what you can do with 700,000 a year, start digging, start finding out. Start asking yourself, is this going to go to a Mercedes-Benz, is it a BMW, is it a property? You know what is important to you. 2026, the goal is for you to be a chairman's bonus qualifier. A chairman's bonus qualifier. The goal is not for you, you know, it's CBQ. It's not QCB. It's not for you to, I don't want to qualify for chairman's bonus. No, I am a chairman's bonus qualifier.
That's right.
2026, I am a chairman's bonus qualifier. And as a chairman's bonus qualifier, you will definitely make that year, your income won't go below 1 million. So 2026, we can all make at least 1 million rands. 2026. And all these incomes that I've put here, typical. I know we've got chairman's bonus qualifiers who have made way more than that in a year. But why am I putting this? So that you know, no matter what, as long as I smash this incentive, I am going to make this. You know that for sure. And if this is your 3 years plan, it means it starts with you getting to manager quickly. Get to manager quickly. And then after getting to manager, we go for ego manager. And then after going for ego manager, we transition. We go to chairman's bonus. We remain ego managers, and then we go for chairman's bonus. And chairman's bonus, if you ask me, is the ultimate goal in forever. But not chairman's bonus level 1. We have chairman's bonus level 1, level 2, and level 3. And if you want to maximize forever and make the biggest money that can be made in forever, you have to get a test of chairman's bonus level 3. And how do you get to chairman's bonus level 3? You become a qualifier, and you help 6 different legs to become chairman's bonus qualifiers. And I know the jump on the check from level 1, level 2 to level 3. I've experienced it. When we qualified level 1, our first level 1 check was about $6,142. Our second check was $6,042. So level 1 checks, our level 1 checks, ranged around there. And then after that, that was the first year and the second year of us qualifying. Our third year, we qualified for chairman's bonus level 0. There's level 0s. You see, when you don't qualify and you still want to feel like a qualifier, I'm a chairman's bonus level 0 qualifier. Sometimes you just have to find a way to be your own cheerleader.
Yes!
Find a way. And then we move from level 0, and then we jumped to level 2.
Yes.
After level 0, of course, we went straight to level 2. And then our first level 2 check was about 76,000 US dollars. From 0 to 76,000 US dollars. Not rands, US dollars. Level 2. And then the coming year we did another level 2, which was 97,000 US dollars. And then we moved to chairman's bonus level 3. I want you to see the jump now. And our check moved from 97,000 to 310,000 US dollars. Level 3. So when we say we are going for this plan, this is you starting to lead by example. Because later on you have people in your team that are also following this plan. And you see, yesterday Garen shared something remarkable. That before Roger Bannister ran a mile in under 4 minutes, it was believed that it was impossible. Like a human being can crash. Yeah, you can break down if you try to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. And after it was done, over 20,000 people have done it, right?
Yes.
So you might take 3 years to get to chairman's bonus, but guess what? People you are leading might go there faster.
That's right.
Because you have walked the walk already.
Yes.
You know what it takes. So you could get your team there faster, and that means you can get to the big chairman's bonus checks even faster. But it starts with you first having the focus at least the next 3 years. And if you focus, if you have a plan that you are going through the next 3 years, I can assure you, if we meet again 2026, of which I know we'll meet, actually we'll be meeting a lot. Every year in February we'll be meeting on the managers convention. Every year in April we'll be meeting in some country
Global rally.
for the global rally. Every year in September we'll be meeting in another exotic location. We'll be meeting a lot. We'll be meeting a lot. Only if you gotta get there. You gotta get there. And it starts with recruiting. Without recruiting, this is the gateway skill. And we'll have a session here on how we can master recruiting. Because recruiting is not something that should be happening, out of luck in a way. It is a skill that can be mastered and it can be coached. And in that way, you can have duplication in your team. Because without recruiting, you've closed the door to so many things in forever. So many things. Recruiting is the gateway for you to making the big money in forever. The big money that we all want. Let me share my journey when I started Forever. Like my real journey is in my incomes. on my first year in the business. This was my first year in Forever. First bonus, $51. And I closed the year with a bonus of $4,900 from $51. Now, what brought this jump or this growth is not me retaining massively, is recruiting, retaining the people that you have recruited, developing them. Because you want to recruit, you want to retain, you want to grow them, right? So first year, total bonuses from Forever, $21,000. Back then, I'm 24 years, part-time in the business.
Wow.
$21,000. How much is that in rands? If someone can help me with that. In rands, it's like how much?
336,000.
300 and something thousand rands. So I want you to imagine you've started a business and your first year you've made about 300,000 rands. How will you feel? Excited, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna push it even more.
Yeah.
2008, income went more than twice.
Wow.
From 21,000 to 54,000 $. Second year in the business.
That's over 1 million.
Over 1 million, eh? All right. So the million can get there faster, guys.
Yes.
It doesn't have to take 3 years. And I know there are people who have made it on their first year. We have them right here in South Africa. Third year in the business, about 73,000 $. So year 1, year 2, year 3, if I sum them up, definitely more than 1 million, right? Way more than that. And maybe year 3 income itself, maybe it's more than 1 million, maybe.
1.4.
1.4 million. So when I say that 3 years from now, you can definitely work 1 million, I can say it looking at you in the eyes because I know it's possible. It has happened to me. And the thing is, if it does not happen to you, it is still possible. Maybe you are more than 3 years in the business, and maybe you haven't yet made 1 million. Maybe. That should not be the reason for you not to believe. If it has happened to someone else, it can happen to you.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Forever, anytime you can draw a line on the side and say, you know what, going forward, this is who I am.
That's right.
And you can tell yourself and you can focus, you can refocus so that maybe my journey becomes almost like your journey. Because if it can happen to me in Tanzania, it can definitely happen to you here in South Africa.
That's right.
It can happen in Zambia, it can happen in Namibia, it can happen in Botswana, it can happen in any country, regardless of where you are. But it all starts with you making a decision.
That's right.
So I want you to really think about why are you building your Forever business? Because without having strong reasons why, and without even knowing what is possible, I believe for you to have strong reasons why you are building and to set your goals effectively, you also need to have an idea of what is possible. When you know what is possible, then you can be able, to merge what you want and what is possible with Forever, and then Forever becomes something very important to you. Your why becomes solidified. It is no longer a wishful thinking, it is a goal. That means I have this dream and I have this strategy here that can get me there. And once there's that connection, your focus comes automatically. You will be able to pick yourself up. You will get challenges. If it's dust will be thrown to you, but you'll be able to shake it off. And then you can get back on your feet and you'll continue running. Why? Because you've seen it. You know that there is a connection here. The bridge is there and it's clear. So let's go for that. Without building a team, without recruiting, you cannot have a big income. You cannot get to manage and beyond. You cannot experience residual income.
That's right.
And one of the biggest benefits of Forever is residual income. And we've talked about 1 million, but I want you to think about not 1 million as your income. I want you to think about making a 1 million a residual income.
Yes.
An income that you don't really have to work for. An income that does not really require your focus and your effort. Imagine being able to sit, do nothing for 365 days at your home, having fun, chilling, and you're still making $1 million. And the question is it possible? Definitely. And the more important question is, are you seeing yourself there?
Yes.
Do you want to get there?
Absolutely.
Because it is possible. And we have people achieving that. We have people living that. If we look at our income, not even from all the countries that we have, it's more than 1 million.
Wow.
That means I can sit in Tanzania, do absolutely nothing for a full year. I did the numbers a little bit. I took Zambia and Burundi, 2 countries, more than 1 million in a year, from Zambia and Burundi. And we are in Tanzania. I've been to Zambia this year once for 3 days. I'll be there again in October, maybe for 3-4 days. So 6 days in a year, and you're earning that much. I call that true residual income.
Yeah.
And that's the ticket for you. And that's something you need to see, because if you don't see that, then you won't have strong reasons to persevere in the business. Whenever we talk about the importance of your why, I want you to understand your why will not be strong enough if it is just in the air. It has to go down to the papers and connect the dots so that you see it possible, and then your goal now can really pull you through. Your goal now can get you into action. Your goal now can get you into momentum. But if you don't have it clearly written down, clearly connected, you won't have the drive to persevere. You know, your ability to handle tension will be very, very low. You know, sometimes we fail to tolerate even people in our teams because our goals are not strong enough. When they're strong enough, you can tolerate more. Imagine if you're employed and you have a very tough boss who doesn't appreciate you, doesn't care about you, you know, all the things that you don't wish on your boss. He's like that. But yet you need that job. You will tolerate. You will still wake up. You will still say good morning, madam, good morning, sir, in the morning, every day, even for years. Why? Because you know how important that job is for you. In the same way in our business, I mean, how can we have focus if we've not connected our business with things which are important to us? And that connection has to be solid, strong. That connection has to be super strong so that it can be able to have the effect that you want to experience. And I want to close with how to maximize forever. And I know this slide will come back later. We use the products, we share the opportunity. There are 5 things we need to do in order for us to maximize forever. These are 3. The remaining 2, maybe you're kind of thinking, what are they? The 4th one, be 4cc active. As small as it might look, do not miss your 4cc's. And sometimes we feel like it's not important because maybe by me doing 4cc, what am I really benefiting? You need to see farther ahead. By you not doing 4cc, you are getting yourself stuck there.
That's right.
Without doing 4cc, you are getting yourself like, I'm not moving.
Yes.
There is no development in the business if you're not doing 4cc's. Go for it. And after 4cc, the 5th thing, most important. This is for someone who wants to maximize forever. If you're not after maximizing forever, you can even end on part 1, using the products. You can end on number 2, sharing the products. Maximizing, you have to go for incentives. If you ask me why you need to go to manager, because manager opens up a door for you to start qualifying for incentives. Incentives is where the money is. Incentives is where the money is. So when you build your team in such a way that people are going for incentives. And I want to close by reminding everybody here on the most important incentive. And those are not my words. They're the words of our late founder, Mr. Rex Moore. Mr. Rexford, who said, if you want to build a big and a long term, that means a big and a sustainable business, you have to do this one incentive called Ego Manager. And he said it, you need to teach Ego Manager.
Yes.
That means we need to talk about it, right?
Yes.
We need to talk about the qualifications. And then number 2, we need to coach Ego Manager. That means we have to go on the field to make it happen.
Yep.
That means we need to work with people who want to go for Ego Manager. And then number 3 he said, you need to be an Ego Manager. And right now, if you're thinking about how to make sure that 2025 becomes a year that you'll never forget in your life, plan how you're becoming an Ego Manager next year.
That's right.
And that journey begins now. That journey begins now. And Ego Manager, you know, why is it the most important? Number 1, it helps you to build your business in the right way. Ego Manager gives you a respect that you cannot get unless you're an Ego Manager. There is a way we respect you knowing that you are an Ego Manager. And that is globally. There is a way that we look at you. When we know that you are an Ego Manager, we know you are currently building the business. We know that you are building your business correctly. We know that you are serious in forever. You get that extra respect. And you know, with Ego Manager, it prepares you for chairman's bonus.
Yeah.
And if you remember, we want to get to chairman's bonus level 3. We want to get to that level 3, right? And it has to start with Ego Manager. You see now why Ego Manager is important.
Yes.
You know, Ego Manager is like the 4cc of the big things in forever. The one must be happening incentive on yearly basis for you to get the big things in forever.
That's right.
Ego Manager. And of course, as an Ego Manager, you get an exotic trip. A trip that you cannot pay for yourself to go there. For you to be there, you either have to qualify or you have to be invited by someone that has qualified. Apart from that, even if you have all the money in the world, you are not going to join the Ego Manager retreat. You will watch the trainings recorded on YouTube and Zoom, but you are not going to rub shoulders with other egos unless you are also an ego.
Yes.
And you know, they say when an ego is flying on those high altitudes, when it meets another bird on those high altitudes, it can only be an ego.
Yes.
No other bird will be there. So the question is, who do you want to be rubbing shoulders with in the world of forever?
Ego managers.
We have to go for Ego Managers. I mean, the places that forever takes you, amazing. You know, when I was in Namibia, I met someone who is 23 years in the business. And I was surprised, like, wow, you are 23 years in the business. And he was telling me about, you know, I remember you, Enos. We were together in Sardinia, Italy. Sardinia, you know, those are the places that forever takes you when you qualify for Ego Manager. Yes. Places that you can probably never go by yourself because they don't even cross your mind. I mean, I think it was 2014, we went to Lake Tahoe, California.
Yeah.
You know, I remember this hotel overlooking the lake.
Yes.
You know, you can go to Dubai, it's okay. But Lake Tahoe, you know, and most of the places that forever take us for ego, when they announce them for me, it's like, okay, that's the first time I'm hearing about that place. Lake Tahoe. When they said we are going to Greece, which was amazing, and I know the people here were in Greece. You know, when they said we are going to Greece, for me, I didn't even know Greece was a big deal until when I started to Google it and see what Greece is all about. That's when I knew that Greece is a big deal. And of course, Ego Manager opens up a big opportunity for you to make more money. Ego managers normally make twice other managers are making.
That's right.
That means a senior Ego Manager is earning twice a senior manager. A soaring Ego Manager is earning twice a soaring manager. A Sapphire Ego Manager, twice a Sapphire Manager. That's why ego is important, because it assures you're making money. A position in forever doesn't assure that you're making money. You can be a supervisor and you're not making any money. You can be an assistant manager, although on the marketing plan there we say an assistant manager, this is what you can make, but maybe you're not making that. The same way you can be a manager and you may not be making the money that we think as a manager you're making. But once you're an ego manager, we don't even need to think twice. We know you're making money. It's no doubt. And that's why we have high respect for ego managers, because somehow the world is like that. We tend to respect people who are making money. So you better make it. You better make it. I'm telling you, make it. You will be respected by everyone around you.
Yeah.
Your colleagues, your family members. Family meetings will be waiting for you. Wedding days people will be consulting you. How do you think about this date? Just because you are making money. Not because you have a PhD. People will be, everybody will suggest, and at the end of the day, they're looking at you, but what are you thinking? What do you think we should do? PhDs may speak, but still, the final decision may come from you just because you're making what?
Money.
So we better as well make it. And I know we're getting ourselves ready for the ego manager. We have people here that are going for the ego manager. Everybody here who is going for the ego manager, can we stand up please? Those who are going for the current ego manager. I mean, those who are rocking the boat. Those who are rocking the boat. In few weeks, these people, they will be having a time of their life. Personally, I'm also going to rock that boat. I cannot wait. It will be my first time to be on a cruise ship. Oh yeah. And I've been told we also have cruise ships that come from Durban to Mozambique. Please, guys, we need to find better ways to address those ones. Maybe we call them cruise boats, whatever. But cruise ship, let me give you an idea of what's going to be happening. We are talking about having that much fun. Cruising. Oh, la la la.
And then for sure you can't buy this one.
A few weeks left. Oh la la. I'm getting goosebumps looking at this.
Hey. Eyes.
So I advise people in Namibia, and I want to bring the same advice. If you know anybody that's going to rock the boat, please, when you're walking close to them, when you are giving them handshakes, everything should be soft. We don't want them to get any kind of pain. Any kind of pain. Hug them nicely but softly. Don't bump into them. They have that fun waiting for them. They have that fun waiting for them. And it's going to be amazing. The whole ship fully taken by forever.
Yeah.
The whole ship fully taken by forever. The only bad side is you can't prospect, but imagine the whole ship taken by forever.
Yeah.
That's how amazing. And I have a feeling one day we'll have two ships taken by forever. And I don't know if that's possible. We do that in small boats, but if it's going to be possible with cruise ships where they can kind of bring them close together and we can record videos, people on the other ship, maybe that will happen. But I can tell you one day, one ship will not be enough for us. One day, one ship will not be enough for us. And it all starts with each and every one of us making a decision that I'm going to focus on this business. I hope you are understanding why we need to focus on forever. I hope this is giving you reasons to say, you know what? If I'll be trained today on what it takes to achieve success, I will go for it. If I'll be shown today how to prospect, if I'll be shown today how to recruit, how to build a business, I will go for it. Because this is waiting for me. This is waiting for you. And I want to close with a suggestion of what we should do. This boat keeps coming back. I swear I pressed forward. I don't know. Oh, here it is again. It's not me. This is a sign. This is a sign. This is a sign that we're going to have eagles in this house. And it starts with us closing the year strongly.
Yes.
If you're not yet a manager, there is no better time for you to smash your manager than
That's
this.
right.
Yeah.
There is no excuse of you not finishing manager right now.
Yes.
Don't create them. Don't become your own showstopper. Don't become your own obstacle.
Amen.
The road is so clear for each and every one of us here to finish the year as manager. Very clear. Set your goals. Smash those CCs. August, we are left with 1 week, right?
Yes.
And I know, the pessimist part of you is probably saying, Enos, I have 0 CC right now.
Yes.
I'm joining today. I've joined yesterday. I only have 2 CCs in my system. And you are telling me to finish August with 10 CC? I don't think if that is possible. I only have one question for you. If I was to open up an opportunity for you to join me as my guest, to rock the boat with me as my guest, as in this September, this rock the boat, and my challenge for you is for you to do 10 CCs. Would you do them or not? Yes. Without a doubt. You will smash them today. I'm flying back tomorrow. Probably tomorrow when I land, I'll find a message. Enos, I'm only left with 2 CCs. I'm only left with 2 CCs. Why? Because the reason, the power of a strong why. The power of a strong why. So when you're asking yourself, am I going to close the year strongly? Remind yourself of all the doors that are going to open for you if you're going to close the year as a manager. And then you go finish up your manager. And as I said, everything that I'm sharing here is typical. If you want to do this faster, do it. If you have the potential to finish your manager in September, finish it. If you can finish your manager by October, finish it. The faster you finish it, the more money you're making the soonest, right?
Perfect.
So if you can do it faster, but don't go slower than this. My challenge to you, don't go slower than this. Don't go slower than this. What if we tell you that if you finish manager by December, you'll get a fully paid trip to Paris? What if we tell you that? Are you going to push for it?
Yeah.
What if Forever says, we have a special offer for Africa. Everybody who finishes manager by December, they'll get a free trip to Paris. Next year, September, we are going to Phuket, Thailand. You'll be taken there for free as well. Are you going to finish manager by December? Yes. It goes without saying. So your only obstacle is your own limitation.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's right there in the mind.
Yeah.
And our task is to remind you that you are capable, you can do it, you have what it takes, and you have no reason to worry or doubt. Because not only are we just motivating you that it's possible, we are also going to share with you the steps where you can start. Where you can start. How are you going to do the work so that this happens? How are you going to follow through these months so that this really happens? As long as you have made the decision, the steps that we are going to share with you here, they will work for you. And I'm going to invite someone here that I've personally seen him going through all the phases in Forever. I've seen him going through the tough times in Forever. Tough as in so tough to the point where he was struggling to pay rent for his very small room where he was living. There are things we don't call them houses. They are rooms. Very small room. Yes. And he was yet struggling to pay rent there. I've seen him struggling as a manager as well. He lost his team. He got to manager, he lost his team. Sometimes the team that gets you to manager is not the one that's going to get you to ego.
Yeah.
It's not the one that's going to get you to chairman's bonus, right? He lost his team. And in the midst of all those struggles, he managed to rebuild a brand new team. He managed to rebuild a team that got him to ego manager. So right now, as we are speaking, you know, he's also one of those that we need to be hugging softly. One of those that is counting days before he goes and rock the boat. And how amazing, on rock, this time around we were given an option to take a lot more people to rock the boat. So he's taking his mother, he's taking his young brother, and also he's taking his amazing leader in the business as well. They will be rocking the boat together. We are now praying for someone that is currently building and expanding. Currently. Someone that is currently walking the talk. And the steps that is going to share. The strategy that is going to share. You know, have the courage to take them and just go run with them. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me bring on stage our ego manager, our social media guru. He's my cousin in the business. We share a sponsor, me and him. We both have one sponsor. And we work so closely together, some even think or believe, maybe they thought he's actually in my team, but he's not in my team. Because at the end of the day, we are all in one team, which is Forever Team, right? Yes. And together we are growing. So please help me bring on stage Mr. Wilbur.